she has done obviously an unbelievable job. I mean, but she's one of the best. Taylor's one of the best songwriters on the planet.
I think she's one of the greatest songwriters of our age. She has just such a divine way of tapping into her demographic in the way that she writes.
She had that thing right from the beginning. I mean, when she was opening for us, I would sneak out front and watch her show, and you could tell she was playing way into the future already.
She's a really good songwriter.
So one thing I love about Taylor's journey is how great of a person she's consistently been throughout the years. Check out what some country legends had to say about her in this video.
Young country musicians that you have given a stage to and given a rub to is what the wrestling business is like.
Yeah.
Taylor, right?
Yeah.
Taylor's, hey, she's biggest star on earth.
Oh, and I've known Taylor a long time, and she has done obviously an unbelievable job. I mean, but she's one of the best. You know, Taylor's one of the best songwriters on the planet. She really is. Not just an entertainer, but she really has a creative soul that comes from somewhere, and she's great at it.
So
She's just such a fantastic artist. I think she's one of the greatest songwriters of our age. She has just such a divine way of tapping into her demographic in the way that she writes. And not only her demographic, she keeps bringing new generations in with her music all the time. And she's just, we knew early on when Faith and I were doing Soul to Soul, one of our Soul to Soul tours, Taylor opened for us. And it was just her and an acoustic guitar out in front of the crowd. And she was so good. And we had a lot of conversations backstage and just talking about careers and stuff. And we knew right away that there was going to be no stopping her. And it's awesome to see what she's done. And I think it's good for everybody in the industry. She's
really one of the great songwriters. I mean, she's great. She's not just really good, she's a great songwriter. And I think she had that thing right from the beginning. I mean, when she was opening for us, I would sneak out front and watch her show, and you could tell she was playing way into the future already. You could see it in her.
Yeah.
You know, she had no production yet and all that stuff, and you could still see there was this projection that was way beyond that moment.
Would you have been able to predict, like, could you see that element?
Oh, yeah,
at that
you could
time?
feel it. And I don't think anybody that got around her was like, oh, this is a whole different person right here. This is someone going somewhere.
Interesting.
That has a vision.
The story of Better Man.
Better Man. That was a gift from Miss Swift.
The gift from Miss Swift. Yeah, I got an email that she just sent a song. She was like, I just heard you guys singing harmonies on this song.
I think she was just going back in her catalog and looking at things and going, wow, here's a song that would really connect with the country audience. And the hard part about Better Man was once we heard her sing it, was how do we make this our own? I mean, she's such an iconic voice that we had to just flip it around. And there was so much joy in that whole thing of just seeing us put it out, it having commercial, success, and then us saying, and by the way, Taylor Swift wrote it. Yeah, but it's been great, I love it. Every once in a while she'll sing it on the Eras tour, and our socials will blow up. Sometimes they want to just hear her sing it, which is fine.
When the artists themselves speak, reference me, or they're showing respect, or when we talk, they share that it inspired them to feel more liberated, or liberated them in some way, gave them a little more of a sense of self-confidence in taking those chances, then it's a huge compliment. Obviously, when I did that, I wouldn't have known that Taylor was even ever, nobody knew who Taylor was yet. So when she speaks about that now, it really warms my heart and makes me very happy. And I know that she's doing the same in her own right for other young artists coming up behind her, because she is a very brave artist and a very, very hard-working one. She's a fabulous example for anybody coming up behind her.
From 9, 10 years old, listening to Taylor Swift, her early records. I mean, I remember going out to Target. I was the one running in the building, getting the records when they first came out. And I mean, she was singing about my life, things that I didn't hear other artists singing about. She was, and has shaped in a lot of ways the writer and artist that I am. And It's so special to be a part of a night where she's being honored.
I can't even explain to begin how she shaped us. I don't think Krista would have ever picked up a guitar and started writing songs without Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I started writing songs at the age of 10. I was like, if Taylor Swift can write her own songs, like, why can't I?
can do it, yeah. So she really gave us the confidence and the courage to do something like that, where I don't know if we would have done it without Mother Taylor.
We're like, you've raised us.
I mean, what a crafts girl. I'm going to say craftsman, but I'm going to say crafts girl. Craftswoman she is of storytelling. Yeah. I mean, she really is as good as it gets. I mean, we're so proud of her.
Also, when we got to play her Better Man, after we recorded it, she came into the studio to listen to it, and we were like, oh my gosh, I hope she likes it, I hope she likes it. So that was, we wanted her to love it, and she came in with her mom, and she was just precious and sweet. And
I mean, obviously Taylor's, not only just an amazing, she's Taylor, extremely talented, amazing songwriter.
She's a really good songwriter. Regardless of if you're not a pop fan of hers, which there's not many young girls who are not. Her Red album, she wrote all those songs by herself. That whole freaking album is really good.
Taylor's still down to earth. She's an absolute, she's there for a reason. Sincerity is a powerful weapon, and authenticity, and she's that.
Could you name 3 Taylor Swift songs?
No. I could not. But let me tell you something.
Could you spot her out in a police lineup?
I probably could, but I can. I have a great admiration for Taylor Swift. She's always been. The last time I saw her, which has been a little while back, she was still very sweet, very nice, and very down to earth. We had her down at the Christmas for Kids show one year. The first time I met her, a few years back, before she got to be she was really getting off the ground. But
she was an up-and-comer, and then
she was, and then she turned a humongous star. And I saw her later. We did a show together up in Canada, and somebody came over and got me and said, "Why don't you go speak to Taylor?" And she was just as down to earth and just as nice as she had been.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
I'm a fly on a bull's butt compared to Taylor Swift, but for her to come over and just say hi, she's proudly from Nashville, and I love her philanthropic efforts in Nashville. I pushed my daughter on a swing set she built for the kids in Hendersonville before. So it was really cool to just get to tell her that.
So we want Taylor Swift on Sunday night.
The greatest show ever.
Crazy.
The greatest show.
No.
I'm so sad I had to come the same week she was here. It don't matter what I do in there. I'm coming up against 3 nights of the greatest show ever.
It's insane.
It's unreal.
It's a Cirque du Soleil. It is a fool in the crowd is all in. To that point.
The whole time.
I think a lot of your songs very much getting echoed back to you.
It was very, very gracious. And a lot of people will say, gosh, that must have been the hardest thing you could have ever done, because I was the highest paid band guy in Nashville. There were artists, George Strait, whoever you want to name it, that have had bands for 30 years that weren't making as much money as Taylor was paying us. Plus, I had become her band leader and confidant, and I would play all of the acoustic shows with her, not only the full band stuff, but I went and did everything else with her. I was definitely the highest paid banjo player in Nashville.
So being that Taylor started out in country music, I was inspired to check out what some country legends and icons had to say about her. And of course, without fail, they all brought up how great of a person she's always been, which completely tracks with just about every story that we hear about her nowadays. Tay is indeed the real deal and one of a kind. Shout out to her parents for raising such an awesome human being. For more great stories on Taylor, check out this next video.